If you own a 2018 and newer EcoBoost Mustang and would like to go with a high quality tune to increase the power, throttle response, and drivability of your ride, well then the 5-star X4 Flash Tuner combo that we have here today would be an awesome choice. Now this particular combination will include the very popular and easy to use SCT X4 handheld device, along with 3 custom tune files from the guys over at 5-star, all for right around the $600 price point. The install can be done without even popping the hood in roughly 15 minutes or so from start to finish, but if you hang with me for a bit, I'll walk you through that job later in the video. So 5-Star Tuning is a very popular choice here on the site that specializes, of course, in all things Ford, but I would even argue that they've really cemented themselves as one of the leaders in EcoBoost tuning specifically. Now, before we get into some of the details and tweaks that the guys over at 5-Star make to your ride to achieve more power and better drivability, we want to talk dyno numbers. Now, for reference sake, guys, we did use our 2018 6-speed EcoBoost that we did strap down with 93 octane in the tank and did both of our pulls in 4th gear. Check it out. Baseline run using our 2018 6-speed EcoBoost Mustang with 93 octane in the tank and in 4th gear gave us 276 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. With the 93 octane 5-star tune uploaded, the car is now making 280 horsepower and 392 pound-feet of torque again at the rear wheels. That's good for a peak gain of 4 horsepower and 92 pound-feet of torque over our baseline numbers, and gains of as much as 61 horsepower and 100 pound-feet of torque under the curve. So as we just witnessed, the wonderful part about the EcoBoost platform is really all of the untapped potential left on the table from Ford. I mean, honestly, it's pretty amazing what a little bit more boost, ignition timing, and some cam timing tweaks will do to wake up these little turbocharged 4-bangers. And at the end of the day, the results are very impressive, especially when using good quality fuel, at least 91 octane or higher. Now, with that being said, 5-Star will also cater to different octane levels, and that is one of the really nice things about getting 3 different custom tunes. Now, on top of that, 5-Star does also offer a choice between a performance or economy tune. So with that in mind, prospective EcoBoost owners could easily grab a 93 octane performance tune when you really want to turn things up, but maybe opt for the 87 octane economy tune when you're making a long commute or maybe just want to save a few bucks at the pump. But going back to that performance tune, guys, owners can pick that up in octanes ranging from 85 octane on the low side all the way up to 94 octane on the high end of things, and even E85 if it's readily available in your area. Now, the performance tune is as advertised, right? You're looking at the biggest power gains along with the more pronounced or dramatic change to things like throttle response and shift points and shift firmness on some of those 10-speed automatic cars. Now, economy tunes, on the other hand, really is going to dial all of that stuff back in favor of increased miles per gallon and will be available in all octanes with the exception of E85. But along with your choice of performance or economy tunes, your different octane levels, you also have to keep in mind here, guys, that these are custom tunes in every sense of the word, meaning they are custom tailored to your ride and all of your modifications. So with that being said, if you've installed maybe an aftermarket intake, downpipe, exhaust, or even maybe a bigger turbo, 5-Star will be able to get you dialed in. But now we want to take the SCT device out to our EcoBoost Mustang, show you the process of physically uploading the tune to your ride, and then walk you through some of the features of the device. All right, guys, so we're out here in our 2018 EcoBoost car. We're gonna obviously show you how to install the tune first, then we'll walk you through the device itself. But I do want to point out the very first thing you do when you get your tuner is to update it. Download the SCT Livewire or Live Update software and update your device first. It's very important. Chances are there'll be a number of updates that the device will need before you can actually upload the tune to your car. So once you do all that, grab the tuner, grab your OBD2 cable, and I'll show you how to plug it in. Generally on these 2018 and newer cars, your OBD2 port is on the very left-hand side of your dash underneath. Find it and plug it in. With our tuner plugged in, it's going to bring us to our main menu. Now, in order to tune the vehicle, what you need to do is go to Program Vehicle. It's going to give you a notice. And at this point, we're going to turn the key on. Obviously, this car has a push-button start, so what you want to do here is basically have the key in the car and then just hit the engine start stop button one time with your foot off the brake. That will turn the car into the accessory position. Now we can hit continue. And in our case, we're gonna go to our 93 base stock tune. This is a stock car outside of our 5-star tune. We're gonna select that. All right, at this point, there are some options here. For instance, axle ratio. If you do end up changing your gear ratio, you can always come in and make some changes here. Same thing with tire size. Speed limiter is off currently, rev limiter, both drive and in neutral. These are subtle things you can change. Most of the time, I would just suggest you don't mess with anything here unless it's at your tuner's discretion. So in our case, we're gonna go to approve. Hit continue. It's asking us if we want to change our tire size. We do not. Not going to change our gear ratio. At this point too, it's also nice, it'll ask you if you want to adjust your TPMS settings. For instance, if you have aftermarket wheels and you didn't change your sensors, you can always turn the light off essentially, or maybe if you're running an aftermarket drag radial in the rear with lower tire pressure, you can adjust that accordingly as well. But in our case, we're not going to mess with that. Same thing with the rear TPMS. And at this point, here we go. It's just asking us to confirm the tune that we wish to upload to our EcoBoost. We're going to hit continue. And now it's basically a waiting game. We're going to follow the on-screen prompts. This portion of the install does take a little while, so get comfortable here and just keep an eye on the programmer. And at that point, when it does ask you to either turn the key on or off, make sure you follow the directions accordingly. Okay, it's asking us to turn the key off, so hit the button one time and turn it back on. And with that, our vehicle, it has been successfully tuned. Go ahead and hit done, and you're all set. All right, guys, now that you have a better idea of actually how to tune the car, we're gonna walk you through some of the basic features and functionality of the SET X4 device right now. So let's check it out. So first things first, we did show you the program vehicle selection. That's obviously where you wanna go when you wanna tune your car. However, if you did ever wanna return your car to stock for whatever reason, as you can see, that's where you would do that. So going back, we'll check out the gauges and data log screen. In my opinion, this is probably one of the coolest features of the SET X4 device. This is basically the screen where it allows you to monitor and data log basically everything that your car is doing. For instance, on this screen, as you can see, we have it set up for things like boost, voltage, engine coolant temperature, intake air temperature, fuel trims, air fuel ratio, and so on. But this is just basically the tip of the iceberg. You have a ton of options to select your layout. So if the 8 on one screen might be a little cumbersome for you to read on the fly. But even if you wanted to change your specific value, you basically click on it, select your item. And here is the list of things that you can select to monitor. Again, boost, control module voltage, coolant temperature, intake air temp. As you can see, there is just a ton of stuff to monitor. Pedal position voltage, RPM, your fuel trim, spark advance, you name it, the sky's the limit. So a lot of flexibility to what you can monitor, and again, how you can all lay it out here with the X4. And I think, again, that's probably my favorite part with this particular device. Now, if you're all done here, you can even select your layout to display in landscape mode here. So you can, flip it sideways if you wanted to, but that is totally up to you on how you prefer to display your tuner. So again, really big fan of the gauges, the data log feature here with the SET X4. And it's something I think a lot of owners will value, just having in the car at all times if you want to check out kind of what the car is doing at any given time. So let's go back here. We'll get out of the data log feature. Go down to vehicle functions here. And this is another valuable feature, of course, because here's where you're going to be able to read your DTC or your check engine lights. Obviously have the ability to clear those as well. Special functions is going to be stuff like your keep alive memory. You can clear that, your keep alive memory reset. and a crank relearn. This is a manual car, so a lot of times when changing out your clutch or flywheel, the car will need to do a crank relearn, and that is something that you can do here with the SCT device, and that's something that every device is going to offer, so big thumbs up there. Coming down to vehicle info. Not the most exciting part of the device, but it is where you can easily check out your VIN, your ECU strategy code, which is something your tuner definitely values and needs to know, along with your ECU serial number there. Get out of that. This is, again, not the most exciting stuff, but we thought we'd show it to you. This is your device info. It's basically your X4, which is your device name, serial number, and this is going to give you the most recent version of the firmware that hopefully you guys updated like I told you to in the very beginning. Last but not least, your settings. Pretty self-explanatory here. It's where you're gonna be able to check for updates. You can do this via Wi-Fi as well if you connect it accordingly. Change your brightness for both day and night. Your orientation, as we just showed you, portrait or landscape. This is pretty cool. You can change your theme. They have red, blue, and then of course dark. Kind of cool there. Light sensor, basically will allow it to dim automatically based on the time of day. Power management mode is just going to basically shut the tuner off. Say you leave it plugged in your car at all times. It's automatically going to power down, so it's not going to drain your battery. Audio can turn the beeps on and off. Startup function, this is kind of cool too. You can select this to automatically, every time you start the car, show the gauges and data log feature instead of having to go through your menus, select everything. You can just have it default to that, which I like. And then demo mode, which is just basically demonstrating some of the features of the tuner. So there you go. All right, well, there you go, guys. That's going to wrap up our review, install, and dyno of the 5-star custom tunes and the SCT X4 device here, available for your 2018 and newer EcoBoost Mustang at home. Guys, keep in mind, for more cool products and videos like this, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.